The biggest house on the biggest hill on the biggest side of town. You know why I got all that? Because I was born with a golden spoon. All the ability, all the looks. 4 times the world champion. 4 times. Limousine. Big city. Pretty ladies.
Future Wrestling Podcast right here on Future Entertainment. We're back once again live on a big show tonight as we go old school with the TLC, the tables, ladders, and chairs. And I brought the family along at this point, and we added some new breed to the family. But first, yes, we did. Breed. But James Hebert, the Herbert the pervert of the show.
Welcome, God damn it. Let the meme die. Why does everyone have to bring up old memes? I hadn't heard that fucking name in forever. But hi guys. I'm different. You guys can check me out on YouTube at jhebertside95 and Twitter at jhebertside95 and Weymouth Heath Wrestling on YouTube. YouTube.com/WYWPride. And you can check me out right here on Future Entertainment. And I'm also, for those who don't know, I'm back also on Wrestling Fortune 44 channel. I've worked out my Shadow Man #1 issues, and I am on the Wrestling Rundown. So I'm doing big things.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
That's okay though. We brought the fat asses of this show. We brought Hammers Production.
Oh boy.
In the era of hippies or flower power, most people.
Hold up. You see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am your Hammers Productions. I was surprised, blindfolded, maybe touched inappropriately by all 4 of these people by accident. I did not know I was supposed to be on tonight, so sorry.
Hey,
quick rub. And a squeezy.
It was a quickie and it got done. There we go. But we're not alone. Once again, Hammers, where can they check you out real quick?
You can find me on Twitter at Hammers Productions. You can try to find me on Instagram and Facebook, but you can't because you got some fat asses.
I love
and
it.
you can also try to find me on Xbox consoles as Hammers is good, blah blah blah, yada yada.
And YouTube channel coming soon, or is that already made now?
Still waiting.
Still waiting.
Got you.
Son of a bitch!
We're not alone once again and again. Kuzan is back live right here on Future Entertainment. Welcome, sir.
Hey, boy with the perfect waist. It's going. I literally just did a stream, and there's like, hey, you want to do a stream? I'm like, oh shit.
Welcome to another stream.
I'm happy to help Logan. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to give people some entertainment, some of that international flavor. So I'm here. Hey,
yes.
Boy with the perfect waist.
We all have gimmicks nowadays, but we brought a new guest to the show on Future Entertainment, Future Wrestling Podcast. Jenna, welcome for the very first time. How are you today?
What? I'm awesome. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
I am excited to be here. This is only the second podcast I've ever done, so, and I know I probably sound hella country because I can hear myself, and that is rough.
It's okay. Hey, listen. It'll be much better than you being on my old show. You would have gotten made fun of for that, but yeah, I kicked that guy off a long time ago, so it's alright. It's okay.
Bro, will you stop? I'm snarious. Fuck's sake.
I'm just saying.
Wait,
sometimes
do you say
the truth hurts?
Do you say that like this is the second podcast you've been on?
Yeah.
And already sounds like a natural.
You gotta talk to Travis about that. Come on now.
You're right.
This is true.
Well, yeah, wouldn't that make it her second podcast if she's only been on one on Travis's?
Oh. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, hello. That's what you
true. But Jenna, welcome once again. Where can they check you out right there on your Twitter? I love that.
Wrong pronunciation.
Yeah. I Jenna Lee's Beauty Slam on YouTube, the home of lipstick and chick kicks. And you can follow me on Twitter at MissJenna_Lee.
That's a fucking great name. Oh my god.
Also on Pornhub. You know what? Never mind. That's for the.
Whoa!
I'm kidding.
I knew it. I knew I heard that voice before.
I knew it.
Well, hello again. You know your card was declined last time, right?
Welcome, Jenna Marbles.
Yeah.
Hey, she's smoking hot. I don't mind being. Someone actually
Dumb
confused
as
me
fuck,
the other day on a live stream and was like, "Oh my god, I've been watching you for 10 years," and I'm like, "No, you haven't."
Yo,
I've seen that before. But welcome to for the very first time you're on the TLC Old School and Just Breaking on the 23rd, correct, Jenna?
Yes.
On the 23rd, we will be doing Old School $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. So can't wait for that one. Cannot wait.
Yes. Everybody's got a price. Everybody's
Even
gonna pay.
Jenna.
Yes, right.
It took about $1 million to get her on that show.
Hey, yo.
And it's only her second podcast.
Well, hey, I'm nice. I'm not charging interest, so you know.
Jeez, man.
all right, Brock Lesnar.
Right. And I'll actually show up, unlike Brock. I'll actually show up and work. So
no, unlike Colin.
Wow, all right, boy, your man's been playing like GTA Online with Travis. You know, he's got stuff to be doing.
Oh, Colin's got college now and stuff like that too, and he's always got his plans. Unfortunately, he's always canceling. James, how many times has he canceled them in the last month or two? I've counted. I'm almost can't count on my hands, like literally.
He's quit about 6, 7 times maybe.
It was funny because last night me and James, the night before, we were like, let's do the show at this time, and Colin was like, can I watch SmackDown? I want to watch SmackDown. Can we do it after 205 Live? I was like, cool, that's fine. 45 minutes into the damn SmackDown Live, and he texts me, don't be mad at me.
I can't make the show. I have college.
Boy's trying to be productive.
I know.
I get it.
Yeah, but
it's like
it's not like college is something that just happens randomly one night. Like he knew in advance that there was colleging to be done.
But he also has like a life, a relationship to hold up now.
So do I.
James, your hand does not count.
No, it's not my hand.
Hey, yo.
I have a relationship. I hold it up.
My relationship is this podcast at this point.
Hey, yo.
Hey, listen,
good
just
rub.
don't stick your dig in the microphone port. We're fine.
Wouldn't do that. I'm not somebody else.
Not again, anyway.
I'm
Okay.
I'm not that one guy that was on your show.
Can we get on track?
Hold up. Give me a second then. Okay, we're good.
No, Lane, don't do it. That doesn't mean you do it.
Too late.
But first off, I want to say welcome to the chat. Tater Snake is already in the chat, sir. You are. Why was Jinder Mahal already mentioned? This is not Jinder Mahal. This is not old school Jinder Mahal.
Oh boy.
This is not. Oh, he says Jinder Mahal and Marks are untrustworthy. Which Colin is?
That is true. That is very true. But
is there a
go ahead, Jenna.
such thing as a Jinder Mahal, Mark?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there's quite a few actually.
I mean,
I know like people discuss his back knee pretty seriously online, but
Oh yeah.
okay.
he's got
cool.
he's got bigger titties than fucking Carmelo.
Well, so do a lot of us.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an achievement.
James.
I love how Hammers couldn't give a shit. Hey, let's talk TLC, guys. Let's talk.
Let's talk some.
Let's do that.
TLC. Man, the history behind what has created TLC is big time, and you know I love what I put on the description. I said, join us as we talk about the history that led to big futures and defined careers. And I didn't get to put shortened careers as well.
Yes, very true.
True.
I mean, I think we would be. I think it would not be smart to not talk about the unofficial first one that happened at Mania 2000, where they brought the tables involved the first time.
Well,
The one that was actually the triangle ladder match, but became TLC.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, the stipulation in a ladder match makes it no disqualification. So, in a way, they're not breaking the rules or the ideals of this thing. But I would highly suggest in saying that that isn't really. They have weapons in use, but it's not technically the first. You could say it.
No, well, obviously it's not the official first, but it's the unofficial first, because that's kind of where it all happened.
Even with that, I don't count 2000s as the first TLC match ever, because they just so happened to add that in.
Listen, what we're saying, it's not as grueling as those millions and millions of hardcore matches that happened during the Attitude Era. You know,
Yeah.
fighting in bathrooms, going through fake walls. It's grueling stuff.
I know,
Aluminum, aluminum foil garbage cans, yeah.
Driving over power cables. Raven was in every single one of them.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was actually watching the OSW review of Royal Rumble 2001 earlier today, and yeah,
It's a great episode.
hardcore. Yeah. Well, I don't think there's ever been a bad OSW review, man. Those guys are just magic. I love them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm guessing you haven't seen Hardcore Homecoming then.
The Let's Watch of it.
Let's watch Hardcore Homecoming or
And
the IWA.
the Japanese one.
Oh yeah, the IWA King of the Deathmatch. That's
Oh god,
Oh.
the Terry Funk and Cactus Jack.
oh yeah.
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 Yeah, that was kind of brutal, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you know what else was brutal? The fact that their tables were so easily breakable back in the Attitude Era that they looked like they exploded in like 1,000 pieces. What the fuck?
But it's good though. For,
It is good. It is good.
You know,
I
it's
miss
good
those kind of
aesthetically. Like in Japan, they were still using actual tables. Even now, like they still use actual tables.
things. Yeah, like
Ridiculous.
most indies do, and it's ridiculous because they never fucking break. Even New Japan uses real tables. It's ridiculous, and they're skinny as hell too.
Then you guys have not seen WXW and their ladders.
Oh god, I'm sick of hearing WXW.
Exactly.
Red Leaf Podcast, my boy. Red Leaf Retro Podcast. I forgot. It's one of those names. But like all I hear is just
Retrocast.
No. Yeah.
That's
But like all he talks about is WXW. Like I don't want to see it now because he talks about it so much.
It is some good stuff, but I cannot believe the ladder match that I watched 2 months ago. Literally, ropes were the only reason the ladder was standing in the middle. It was crazy. It was like, they actually have these?
yeah.
Telling you, man. German manufacturers ain't getting paid enough.
Like literally, I was scared to death for some of these, them guys standing on those ladders. I thought somebody was gonna fall.
Truth. Well, let's talk about TLC because it's not about WXW. It's about TLC.
Yes.
WWE TLC.
I was gonna say the WWE, WWF back in the day. They created and adapted the matches to make it known today as the TLC match. And,
Yep.
you know, it was the origins of the tag team ladder match that was Edge and Christian and the Hardys at No Mercy 1999 is what got me into being big on this match.
Yes. And I think that it was hugely needed, and it was something new and refreshing when it first came out at SummerSlam 2000 between those three teams, that it was memorable. Which, by the way, I don't know if it's unpopular opinion, but I tend to love the first official TLC match than the second.
I could see why you say that.
I feel like there was just like a lot more on the line. 1 and 2, it was like these guys killed each other way more, like, for the sake of everyone's entertainment, and they really did some innovative stuff that not a lot of people were used to at the time. And TLC 2, it was like, you had the same thing, just add Spike Dudley, Lita, and Rhino to it. It's pretty much the same match. You know what I mean? I don't hate it. Doesn't mean I hate it, because they're both awesome, but I like the first one more. Because I'm a hipster.
You hipster hoe.
See, I liked it better when, like, the story had kind of progressed, and then you had, like, a third member to each team. You had Lita. I think I just like Lita a lot. But you had Lita and Spike and Rhino and his thunder thighs, and it just added another like wrinkle to the story, and it just added another layer. I just thought it added a little more drama to it, especially like Lita's jerking Edge off. I don't know which match that was, but
That's
Jim Ross's unintentional call. Yeah, Jim Ross's unintentional call. Like, I know he didn't mean for it to sound that way, but you know, wasn't that match?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I feel like it was meant to be said at the time, though, because remember, Vince probably
Not
was
at
like
the
laughing when he
time.
said jerking Edge.
Not at the time, though. I mean, yeah. But it's weird to think, like, now, looking back on like all the men involved, in the career, Edge was the one who got the worst of it, because he got seriously injured. He went through quite a few of these matches in his career, but yet, like, guys like Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, who were the most high flying at the time, they didn't get as badly injured. And it just goes to show, learn off Jeff Hardy, because you might as well just get smacked up on drugs so you won't feel anything for a bit. Then it won't matter.
Yeah.
No. It just sucks in a way, because like as someone like Edge was my childhood hero as a kid. He was the one I looked up to. Like, growing up, I wanted to be like him, because like it was the hair, you know, the trench coat and everything that came with it, and then later on he changed it. But like the Edge and Christian combination worked well for the dynamic of the match, because they brought in the chairs aspect of the match with the concerto, didn't they?
Yeah, well, was it just called...
Hello. Sorry.
Was it called the concerto, or was it called something else?
They called it the concerto.
It was a concerto.
Oh, okay.
They had their own match as well, which, listening to their podcasts...
Oh, that was awesome, yeah. I watched that match after they were talking about it.
They knocked each other out at some point.
But that was TLC too, right? That was the TLC one-on-one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was also an excellent match. That's an underrated match. Another underrated match was TLC 4 with Benoit and Jericho in it.
Yeah, that one...
I was going to bring that one up too. I was going to ask, are we counting the Benoit and Jericho? Because they seem to just fit in seamlessly into the whole...
Wait, which one was that? What pay-per-view? Was that Royal Rumble?
That wasn't a pay-per-view. That was a SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. That was on a SmackDown. I think it was
it was right after they won the tag titles from H and Stone Cold.
Yeah,
yes, the two-man power trip had just lost the title. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they lost it.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Edge's book where he talks about it, when the idea of doing another TLC on SmackDown was brought up, the guys were actually like vehemently against it, because they were like, this is legitimately dangerous. We are legitimately really putting ourselves out there and hurting ourselves. Yeah. Why are we giving this away for free?
Is that when he broke his neck again? Because he hit the butt. The ladder was like on the floor. Was that against Booker T or Eddie Guerrero?
That was somebody different. I think.
Yeah, that was some.
That was definitely him against Eddie Guerrero, because it did like a sunset flip, but that wasn't even TLC. That just happened to have a ladder in it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do like big, like painful matches on just normal TV. You know,
Right.
like you can do table matches because tables are okay. Just don't do any dangerous spots because it's not worth it.
Mm. Fair enough. Logan, what do you think about the TLC 4? This TLC 4 was on free TV. What did you think of it?
It was really good. I like the comeback story of Chris Benoit and what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shades of Daniel Bryan, soon to come.
Yeah, very true, actually. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was very reminiscent of that.
I believe it was Dynamite Kid.
Dynamite.
Paul Billington.
There was another, or wasn't there a TLC 5 where it was like full of like a bunch of makeshift teams other than like Spike and like Bubba Ray, and then there was like
Spike,
Christian and Jericho.
Spike, Bubba Ray. It was gonna be who was the other team? It was gonna be originally Kane and Hurricane, but Hurricane got hurt, and so Kane had to go at it alone. And then you had Hardy and RVD, and who was the other guy? Christian and Jericho.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that was different. There was a lot of to prove how dangerous TLC is. Just watch that match because Bubba legitimately knocks himself out taking a fucking bulldog from the top of the ladder. From I think it was Jericho.
Telling you, lads, Jericho's dangerous.
The clip that always reminds, like, that stands out to me as this is crazy dangerous is actually that most replayed spot of Edge doing the spear on Jeff Hardy from one ladder to another. Because like he said, if you watch Edge, everyone's watching the spear, but if you watch Edge, he DDTs the crap out of himself. You like literally his body pops up and you can look at his eyes and tell the lights are on but nobody is home. Like he is out on his, you know what I mean? To me, like I look at that as where the neck problems really started for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also it's like he tended to do that to himself a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he got knocked on his head so many times within his career. Is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I feel like one underrated class. I don't know if there's been any TLC since like that 03 one, but I know one that I feel like a lot of people don't give enough credit to, and that's the Undertaker Edge TLC match for
there's been a few
world title. That one. Has there been a few?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because Benjamin and Haas had one with the Hardys, didn't they?
That was a ladder match. But there was another match in 2006 with Edge and Ric Flair.
Was that TLC?
Yeah, for the WWE Championship. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It was on a Raw, and that one was interesting because that was in Ric Flair's hometown, as well as another person showed up, Charlotte Flair. She was on that show as well.
Was she?
Oh,
yes, she was.
She was in the crowd, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I remember that now. It took me a bit.
Yes, and then also in 2006, one of my favorite TLC matches, Unforgiven 2006, Edge versus John Cena.
Yeah, how did I forget that one?
Oh, forgot about that.
That was my favorite TLC match ever.
The build to that match is probably one of the greatest builds to ever come out of WWE in a long time. It is highly underrated. Like, that is the peak of a feud that had been going on since...
It was 06, the beginning of 06.
It was the beginning of 06. It was
New Year's Revolution.
Yeah, it was New Year's Revolution. I actually have the Rated R belt.
When Edge cashed in, right? When John Cena had just been... Now this was that feud where literally like they were traveling and like one pay-per-view was like in John Cena's hometown and then literally one was like in Edge's hometown. Yeah. That just added so much to that feud because you could see both of them. Like I can remember like when they were in Edge's hometown and the crowd was giving him such a warm response anyway, and you could just see Edge fighting not to cry and heal up, you know.
Did you see the Raw afterwards when they were in Montreal?
Oh,
it was so funny. Like Cena comes out with the title, gets booed. Edge comes out. Oh my God, Edge, he's Canadian. We love you, love you. I hate all you Montreal French frogs. Get the fuck out of here. Boo!
That's fucking great. Edge is classic.
You know, that's actually what I thought of the other night when The Miz, when they were in Ohio and everybody was chanting "Welcome home."
Yeah.
And The Miz goes, "I live in Los Angeles." I actually thought of that as like when, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
like Wade Barrett. It's like, well, but England. I'm from Preston. Boo.
Should we Logan, what are some of your favorite TLC matches?
My favorite, one of my favorite TLC matches. Damn, there's a lot of TLC matches I can mention. Actually, for this show, I'm actually not just doing TLC. We can do ladder matches and stuff like that.
Sure.
Just regular ladder matches.
Let's talk about chair matches. Big Show versus Sheamus. Yeah.
Shut up! I'm going old school with Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh, okay.
WrestleMania 10, and then the following SummerSlam. I actually liked the second Razor Michaels match better because
much better.
If you read Shawn Michaels' book, he even says, you know, like they came to him and said you can't use the ladder as a weapon as much, and so he and Scott Hall had to get really creative with their offense and how they worked that match, and it just told a really compelling story. Like it was just one of those that you just get sucked into, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good match, but I like that a lot better for some reason. I feel like if we're gonna talk about the history of how the TLC kind of developed, I feel like we would have to also mention how tables became a thing with the Dudleys, more so in ECW and then later in WWF.
Well, it wasn't originally a Dudley thing. It was originally a Public Enemy.
Yeah, Public Enemy thing, and then the Dudleys kind of took over as the table guys when they left.
Man, that really like sours out the fucking flavor. A Public Enemy, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like those guys are like Public Enemy are like boy stables.
Oh yes, they are boys to another level.
Yeah, they're like junior boys. Like if there was like a Young Lions division of boys, that's where they'd be.
They got kicked out of like every promotion. Like they went to WCW, ECW, WWF. They just weren't welcome.
Well, no, ECW, they weren't kicked per se. They just left to try to take a better offer, and then they got kicked from WCW and WWF.
Dumbasses.
Because, as always, Paul Heyman is the master of hiding the negatives and spotlighting the positives. And a lot of people, when they got to WWF or WCW, that security blanket was gone, and all of your flaws were just, boom, out in the spotlight. And it became very obvious very quickly that Public Enemy were not in the league that they appeared to be in.
Yeah, as they were portrayed as. And
Right.
yeah.
So that's the origin of the tables, anyway.
Yes, the origin of the tables started with Public Enemy, and then the Dudleys would take over from there. Obviously doing crazy stuff with the tables, and it became such a signature, more so in WWF, when Bubba Ray started to be like, I'm a powerbomb random women into tables. And then
not just random women, but like elderly women too. Like there's not even an age limit on it.
Yeah. No,
Mae Young.
When Mae Young took that table bump, the tables were like stupidly the most overt thing the Dudleys had, and it was like once they had that tables match with the Hardys and Royal Rumble 2000, like that took it like to a whole nother stratosphere. Hence where WrestleMania 2000 comes in, and you know, the tables and ladders get involved, and then TLC with Edge and Christian with the chairs, and you know, here we are today. Now it's a fucking pay-per-view, and it loses a lot of its flair. But I digress.
I mean, like, I think that happens with any pay-per-view. I think that happens with a lot of the styles now, because like a lot of people, like you name it after a match. It's like, well, now you expect it. You know, it's not. So when TLC got changed to a pay-per-view name, the only good match that I can think of in the modern era now was The Shield versus Team Hell No and Ryback. That was a really good match. But the thing is, it's like, it served as a B-show pay-per-view, so it's not mentioned as much.
Yeah.
Like, Seth Rollins, like, he took a hard bump, like, on the stage, and it hurt him a lot. That was their first match, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And there was one pay-per-view, and I don't know if it was Hell in a Cell. Yeah, it was Hell in a Cell, I'm thinking of. Never mind, because I'm picturing that image of Rollins sliding in the ring right before the cell comes down over him. I
don't want to stab him.
I've gone off on another tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
I feel like we should. I feel like another TLC match that should be mentioned, and I think we kind of skipped over it before because I forgot about other TLC matches. Undertaker and Edge.
Oh yeah.
I mean. My God, that was unreal. How the fact that Undertaker was taking those kinds of bumps at his age at the time, and actually like that match is also very underrated. Also happened on Unforgiven, which I see a pattern with that, by the way. Or was it Judgment Day? I forgot.
It was. I
think it was
well. I want to say it was Hell in a Cell, but it wasn't.
No, it was Judgment Day.
Was this the one, like, if he loses the match, he leaves WWE?
Yes.
It was Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it's Extreme Rules then.
2009? Nah, that was Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Extreme Rules wasn't a thing yet in 2009.
I have the pages up here.
No, it wasn't. Well, 2007 is when they actually. Well, no, that was One Night Stand. 2008 was
still
what
One
it was
Night
called.
Stand, probably.
No, it was Extreme Rules after 2008. So the timeline would be right.
Yeah, you are right. 2008.
See, you guys are on point tonight.
Factual.
Well, it's me being stupid in college. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Who else?
So
I'm still trying to place this Edge and Undertaker match. Like, for some reason, I just have like a big blank. Was there like a stipulation connected to that? Like some extra stipulation that?
Yeah. Undertaker lost, he would have had to leave WWE. That was the.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You won't remember it. You won't remember it because there was a lot of like caboclo around it, because there was like Vicky Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, fucking Zack Ryder, and Kurt Hawkins were dicking around.
Right.
There was a lot of dicking around with the match, which that's why people really started to turn on WWE after a while.
Just overbooked everything.
It was overbooking everything. It was getting really like monotonous, and people were really taking a sour taste to it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
still, the match itself is fine. No, the match is fine. It's just if you take all those aspects out, it's so much better. Like, there's a spot where 4 tables are up on the outside. Undertaker's trying to go for the bell. Undertaker, like, Edge pushes the fucking table over.
Ladder. Pushes the ladder over and
he
crashes through like a pile of tables like a boss.
But you wouldn't remember that because of all the crap that happened.
Yeah, sad enough. But I feel like it's still underrated. And plus, you gotta remember, it's not like it was unwarranted, that whole overbooked stuff. Like, Edge was a chicken shit heel at that point. You know what
Well,
I mean?
you didn't need Chavo in there though. You didn't need, like Kurt Hawkins and them were enough.
You didn't even
Kurt
need
Hawkins
them.
may have been
Edge
enough,
heads.
Yeah,
The Edge heads. Yeah, I was about to say
amazing.
the Edge lookalikes.
They were awesome. That was an awesome gimmick.
Yes.
But you needed to have them rather than Chavo.
You didn't even need them at that point, you know. Should have just been Edge and Undertaker. I mean, to me, this is my personal preference, but Edge is a veteran in the TLC department, so why did he need help to win that sort of match?
Because he was scared of the Undertaker. That was the whole thing that was going around. Like, they were really building up the fear of the Undertaker, because Undertaker was losing his kind of facade at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, for fuck's sake, he did a spear, and it looked fucking naff. It was horrific.
So you mean to tell me Kevin Nash did a spear?
You mean to tell me that Kevin Nash can do anything? He can't powerbomb people, and that's his goddamn finisher. It's like you take a fucking jet. You take a
talented guy. I don't know what y'all. I have never seen anyone tear their quad.
Hey, Sean. Two see me on the way down, brother.
Hey, Sean. I can't wrestle tonight. Why? I tore my quad again.
Hey, Sean, like you're gonna lay down for me, brother. All right. If you want to.
Is that gonna be Drew McIntyre's? Is that gonna be Drew McIntyre's gimmick now? Since he's like compared to Diesel now with Dolph Ziggler, who's compared to Shawn Michaels.
I think that's a little bit unfair. I think that's very unwarranted, actually.
Yeah,
people
why?
I think that people flee. I said that the first time Drew McIntyre, when he was doing the Chosen One gimmick, I'm like, people are sleeping on this guy. I thought he was aces then, you know. So I'm thrilled. I'm pleased as punch to see him back in WWE. I don't quite understand the thought of tying him to Dolph Ziggler. That's not exactly
I fucking
a rocket ship.
I flipped a bin when I saw that. It's like, you stupid motherfuckers, you're idiots. What are you doing? Stick him in a TLC.
Trying to resurrect a career that can't be resurrected at this point.
He was fine.
They're
on
trying
his
to
own.
resurrect a career that they killed. You know, like
it's just like, here's Dolph Ziggler, but you're not doing anything from Dolph Ziggler. Here's Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, here's Dolph Ziggler, dude. You've been
doesn't need a mouthpiece at this point.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous because really, if you think about it, the only good thing about the whole Ziggler McIntyre team up is the fucking finisher. That's it. That's the only good thing about this. Everything else can fuck right off. Oh, everyone's like, well, they're doing cool vignettes.
So?
But no one cares.
They're acting like
no one
smarks.
cares. Exactly.
They're acting like smarks.
Why does Drew McIntyre have to stoop down to the level of a fucking Dolph Ziggler when Ziggler's been on a losing streak since, what was it, No Mercy 2016?
I was going to say since, what, 2016?
Yeah.
Late 2015.
That sounds about right.
He had his little moment being the sole survivor at that Survivor Series, but God, that was how long ago now?
Yeah, like, why does he... We all know he's the main jobber guy. Why do we have to have McIntyre a jobber guy, too? It's stupid. It's fucking...
Why McIntyre?
But haven't they not lost a match yet?
Because McIntyre is just that good.
Yes, McIntyre's that good. It's McIntyre. It's all McIntyre.
Well,
but also,
if you guys didn't see Saturday Night Myers last week, I specifically said on bold prediction he will be the Universal Champion walking into 2019.
Yeah, that's if they don't bury him with Dolph Ziggler first.
He's gonna have to. It's gonna be hard for him to reach a lofty height like that when he's got an albatross like Ziggler, and it hurts my heart to even call Dolph Ziggler an albatross at this point. But you know, if the shoe fits.
Guys,
I don't feel bad at them I don't feel bad for him at all, and I'll tell you why. He's the one who took the fucking check. I don't feel sorry for him at this point. Time and time again, he's threatened to leave, threatened that he's going to walk out because he's not getting treated enough. As soon as they give him fucking $6 million to job out to guys, he's like, all right, I'll stay.
I mean, he's of a certain age
He's
now.
getting paid. He gets paid. I'm not gonna fucking feel bad if he wants to fucking job out. I'm sorry, but don't expect me to care about your fucking character if that's how you're gonna treat it. If you don't care, why the fuck should I? Sorry.
Fair enough. No, that makes perfect sense. You're right, because he has always been one of the main ones. I always say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. He's been one of the main ones who complains, and then it doesn't make a move. A couple of years ago, or last time his negotiations for contract came up, he could have gone to New Japan. He could have gone anywhere. He could be doing what the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes are doing, but he opted not.
Genuinely, that's my point. He genuinely could have made an impact. Instead, he decided to get comfortable and stay with it.
Right.
So, I don't feel sorry for him. Don't complain and then be like, oh no, we're fine. The fuck?
No, you're good. Right. Didn't he have like a match with Edge at some point with that whole gimmick?
Yeah.
I don't remember how that went.
It's called Ziggler won the title, but then he lost it like not even 2 hours later. By some technicality bullshit or some crap like that.
You serious?
Yeah. Anyway, that's not what we're not talking about that. It's TLC, and we.
It was a TLC match. I was talking about the TLC match.
Was it a TLC?
Edge and Undertaker. Yeah, Edge and Undertaker, and then you guys went off on a tangent about.
Yeah, we got to get back on.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to mention was what defined the careers of the certain guys that we're talking about, like the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian. What defined Edge was the ladder match. So him and what he did in the WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship scene, it was created because of what he did. If it wasn't for the ladder matches, do you think Edge would have been over?
Yes.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes.
Very much. It is a big part of it. It is a big part of his origin. However, the character that he was running with at the time, it was its own thing. The whole thing with Christian, and then when he split off with Christian, he took a little bit of a downslope, but we had the brand split and all that. And I think he was on top for a while.
And then he was a dick. Banged Lita behind Matt's back, and he became the greatest heel of all time. One of the greatest heels of all time. So
it's one of those times where like doing something really crappy to your buddy creates like the biggest opportunity in your career, because the rated R superstar gimmick was just absolute money.
It was gold. Seriously, that was a gold money opportunity after that.
I would say.
Didn't they have a TLC match on Raw? Isn't that what ended the feud?
No, they had to. Wait, which feud? What are you on about?
Matt Hardy and Edge. Didn't that end in the TLC?
That was a ladder match.
There was a ladder match. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was
Lita tied herself up in the ropes and holding Matt in, so that Edge could climb the. Yeah.
That was a good match. I recommend.
I hated the way that feud ended. Like I was listening to like the Something to Wrestle podcast, and Bruce Pritchard just vehemently like defends it, but that they had a pure babyface handed to them. The crowd wanted to see Matt Hardy get revenge, and they have a couple of matches. One, and they kind of petered out on Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
But didn't he win a steel cage match with Edge at one point?
He did. Yeah.
Did he not lose it?
No, he won that. Also, but we're not talking about steel. We got to stick on topic, guys. TLC.
Sorry.
Edge versus Ric Flair TLC was on a Monday Night Raw. By the way,
that was awesome. That was an awesome show.
Yeah, seeing Ric Flair do that kind of match was pretty awesome.
Like, Rick is not built for that, but like he bladed and bladed and bladed. Like, boy was messed up.
Yeah. That's like seeing Ric Flair having blood in his hair kind of makes me glad that there's no blading anymore. You just imagine Ziggler or somebody like that doing it.
Was this the WWE title match?
Yes.
Or was this
the one...
Yeah, it was WWE. I think it was during the Rated R era.
It was January 16th, 2006.
Yeah. Then that was during the Rated R Championship era. Because by that point, he'd had just won it from Rob Van Dam.
No,
in a triple threat match with John Cena, I think.
That's a different one. That's
my
different.
bad.
No, that was way late.
That was
All these fucking events blend the same to me after you watch it a while.
Well, yeah, 2006 was a blur to most people, except for your boy, because that was when I started. Well, that too. That's when I started watching wrestling, was 2006. So
it was a very underrated golden era. Like, it's not as good as like what everyone says the Attitude Era was and all that. It's not as revolutionary, but it was a good fit. Yeah. And a lot of people just like, oh, it's not as good.
Well, I mean, Rey Mysterio didn't help that out.
Oh well, speaking of ladder matches, I mean, custody of Dominic. As stupid as that fucking stipulation. And you want to know the funny part? As stupid as that stipulation was, it was a great match until they botched the ending where Eddie goes, "Where the fuck were they?" Yeah. But it was still a really good match. I enjoyed it. TLC shows. Hey, let's see if we can look up WWE TLC matches from
Logan,
WWE TLC.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, Kujan, go ahead.
Right. So, if we're talking about people who were defined by the match, I personally would say that Christian was more defined by it.
Oh.
More paired up with Chris Jericho. Because I can't think of a lot that Christian really did during like the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era that he did other than TLC matches and ladder matches.
5-second pose.
I mean, yeah, but like in terms of his actual
his solo career.
I think for Christian, I wouldn't necessarily put him as he was defined solely by the TLC match, but more so as an all-around ladder match kind of guy, because you got to remember he also was one of the first participants in Money in the Bank. He was in a lot of those Money in the Bank matches. He was in a lot of King of the Mountain matches when he was in TNA. Like, he was solely defined in his career by ladder stipulations.
Wait, hold up. Was Christian ever in a Money in the Bank ladder match?
Yes, many times. First one, he was in 2009, 2010, 2011. I think he was also in 12.
2011, he wasn't in a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Oh yeah, he was fighting Orton for the title, right?
Yeah.
One of his defining moments was the matches against Orton too.
Not to mention the ECW title match with Shelton Benjamin in the first TLC pay-per-view in a ladder match.
Yep.
That's also a really good match.
You know, the only person that I can say out of all 6 men that really didn't get the biggest push ever was Devon.
Yeah,
because he became a fucking.
Well, I was gonna say.
Oh my brother, testify.
That gimmick is not over with me, like, at all.
Oh,
I do like
never over with anyone.
But the cast was good for the Dudley Boys. At least.
You mean to tell me that Reverend Devon with fucking big fuck off Teaster over here with his fucking chain, looking like a fucking gigolo, right? With his eyeliner. You mean that wasn't over? That didn't define him?
That was more relevant than Devon. That's sadly the manager.
Yeah, if you really think about it. Okay, so I'm looking through matches that have happened in the TLC pay-per-view, and I'm looking for like specific stipulations.
Do you have something on you right now?
Don't forget John Morrison and Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental Championship on a Monday Night Raw.
Who remembers this fucking match? John Morrison versus King Sheamus for the Intercontinental WWE #1 contenders to the WWE Championship in a ladder match.
Who? I don't remember that.
Yeah, 2010. Also, this is the same night where John Cena buried Wade Barrett literally with a bunch of steel chairs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was sad. All right, I'm moving on now.
Chris Jericho. RVD was also in a couple ladder matches as well. He faced Jeff Hardy for the title as well in a ladder match.
Yeah. Was that a unification match for the hardcore belt? I believe.
Oh,
I
we got two other things that I feel like are memorable. The first ever chairs match with Big Show and Mark Henry was memorable solely because of Daniel Bryan's cash-in.
Yeah.
And then you had a really underrated TLC match, in my opinion, with Del Rio, The Miz, and CM Punk for the WWE Championship. That was awesome. That was an awesome match.
That was really good. Yeah, that was really good.
I almost forgot about it when we were talking about it.
Don't forget the TLC 2009 event featured Chris Jericho, Big Show against the D-Generation X.
I forgot about it. Yeah. That was okay. They botched a couple spots by the end, but that was actually pretty good. 2012, we already mentioned it. The Shield versus Ryback and
Team Hell No.
Team Hell No. That was fucking amazing.
TLC 2013, Orton and Cena.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Don't forget my favorite match of all time, the WeLC.
I've been waiting to ask if we're going to talk about the WeLC. I'm so glad you brought that up.
TLC.
Yeah, that was different.
That was glorious.
Better than most matches.
The hell was the WeLC?
They worked their butts off.
Dude.
El Torito and Hornswoggle.
Yes, that was.
They worked their butts off.
Bro, that's just racist.
Turned out to be, other than the Evolution match, that turned out to be the best match on the show. Was the WLC match, and it was on the
discrimination against midgets.
Show, wasn't it? Yeah.
And what about you guys in the last year's match when it was Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Kurt Angle against the Miz, Cesaro?
We'll get to that when we come to it because I have my own feelings on that. But first,
right.
let's see if you guys remember this one. Everybody remember for the bajillionth fucking time they fought in a WWE ring, John Cena versus Randy Orton for the unification of the titles.
I just mentioned that.
You have like all the pitches.
Ready? It is the match that never ends, and it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started watching it not knowing what the fuck it was, to be honest with you.
And others will get married forever just
because it's the match that never ends.
At this point, I want a Frosty from Wendy's.
Oh, boy. I love how we just... Well, I mean,
I'm
ask Heath
random
Slater.
as fuck,
Maybe you can help you.
Sometimes I'm funny at that.
Yes, you are. Maybe you can go ask Heath Slater. Maybe he can give you ice cream.
Boys Called Kids. What are you talking about?
You can't afford 50 cents.
So...
Boys paying alimony.
So, 2013 also featured a no disqualification match for some reason between Kofi Kingston and The Miz. Championship match involved.
I don't remember a single Miz match for a long time.
Yeah, neither do I. It's not important.
Nobody's mentioned John Cena versus Edge, Unforgiven.
No, we mentioned it way.
Okay, what about CM Punk and Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam?
Oh yes, that's right.
I completely forgot about that.
I loved that feud. I thought that was a great feud.
That was a great feud.
I thought they worked really well together.
Jeff Hardy wasn't happy about that feud, by the way, because it was just banging on about how he did drugs. It's fucking amazing.
Just banging on about the match that led to the ironically drugged up Jeff Hardy in a Waffle House calling CM Punk a fucking nerd.
It was fucking amazing.
It was amazing.
You're a nerd, bro. And then Matt Hardy, let me talk about Lita some more. God almighty.
Let me talk about Lita some more, and Punk's just like, yeah, alright, whatever.
Right.
He just never replied to him because he didn't need to. He was making a fool out of himself.
Oh, so bad. Let's talk about I think it was 2014. Anybody remember the TV monitor spot in the Bray Wyatt Dean Ambrose TLC match?
Oh my god. Ew.
Why did you even mention that?
Yep. That was the thing.
Oh my god, ew.
Ambrose in that match, right? Ambrose should have had a frazzle, shit his pants, and just died in the middle of the ring. That would have made it a lot more interesting and realistic. However, we can't do that. So
of course, we're going to talk about this guy too. Roman Reigns being beat by Sheamus in TLC 2015, and then
Shut up!
by
I
the
want to
way,
talk The Miz versus Jerry Lawler in a TLC.
Oh yeah.
2011, that was awesome.
Thank
match.
you. Thank you, because I'm literally sitting here like I'm holding a piece of paper in my hand with a list of matches. Like just give me a moment to speak on this because I want to talk about that. Thank you. The Miz versus that was back in 20. That was on a Raw, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. It
Yes.
was.
Mhm.
First Raw of the year, I think.
That was a couple weeks before Jerry Lawler's heart attack.
Oh, November 29th, 2010.
was that
Philadelphia,
before or
Pennsylvania. Oh, it
after
was
the rape allegations?
Oh God.
Which ones?
God.
Was that before? Which ones exactly?
Yeah,
Just any of them.
Right.
God damn it, Jerry. Puppies. He loves them puppies.
But yeah, what about this match?
That was an awesome
Talk about
match. You want to take this one? I'll let you take this one, Jenna.
I just wanted to this was such an odd time to me in with The Miz as the champ, like, because for me now, I have been openly saying that now I want The Miz to be elevated to like the WWE title or universal title picture. I think
Back
he
then he was not ready.
But not
back
in this.
then,
It's like,
it was just such a bizarre. It just felt very bizarre to see him.
it was,
And
it
I
was
always
clearly
hated
the
that
Miz's
title.
fault.
The John Cena belt. I don't
It
know
was
why they
clearly
kept
the
that.
Miz's fault.
Yeah,
I don't know. It wasn't the Miz.
No, it was because like Miz didn't draw at all. Like he really
At
didn't
the
draw.
time, yeah.
Like at the time, he really didn't draw.
Yeah, not a lot of people remember him.
Go
He
ahead,
has
Jenna.
really evolved a lot. We in the beauty, the makeup world call it a glow up, and the Miz, ever since finding his footing with that Hollywood Miz character, there's so much he can get out of it, and there's so many different ways he can go with it. That's like the ultimate glow up. He is now ready for that scene. In 2010, he still looked like he was like 22, you know, and like he had just started. He just looked very rookie to me.
Yeah.
Green as hell.
He looked like he was playing dress up with a replica belt. And I hate
He
to say
looked.
that.
Would you say he looked like a young boy, like young lion, still with his fucking trunks?
Young man.
Yes, that's literally the term I was in. He looked like
Yeah.
a young boy. Like, shouldn't you be washing mats in a dojo?
I have a question for you guys. When we talk about defined careers, okay, for example, and I saw this in an interview, Road Dogg Jesse James says what really defined his career and made his career was him becoming the hardcore champion and him being able to do those things. For the
What a
future,
great life you've had, mate.
For the
Years
right.
and a coat.
No, fuck. I guess fuck the team with the New Age Outlaws. I guess.
Yeah, don't
Wow.
worry about it. Carry on, Logan.
For the future of defining careers, is there 3 teams that you would put in a TLC match that could help define careers?
Wow.
Usos, New Day, and
The
Cesaro
bar.
and Sheamus.
yes.
I would have done Usos, New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers this year at Mania and in TLC. That would have been great.
I don't think
like-
they really. Go
The
on.
Bludgeon Brothers, like if it was like a specific, like if it was just a tables match, that would speak to their whole. I don't see Harper or Rowan being.
Well, speaking of that, I actually, because I see a match like right in front of me. Should we talk about the tables match at TLC 2015 or 16, one of the two, between the Wyatt family and the ECW guys?
No,
That was
no,
It was-
absolutely
I don't
not.
think-
Please no.
that.
Please God
Absolutely
no.
not.
why was it that bad? I didn't think it was that bad. to
It
be
was
honest.
horrific. It was like old men coming out trying to get over with the crowd.
I remember
It's like-
this. I remember.
Oh wow!
'cause
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
thinking.
remember that at all.
I'm thinking the no DQ match, which was like way better, which was like the night after, ironically enough.
When you're extreme, you don't die, you multiply. Do you fuck? You cripple over and fucking like have a heart attack. Like, you had to get Rhino over here. Fucking Tommy Dreamer's still coming out with his fucking top. That's annoying.
True.
So I have a real gripe with wrestlers wearing t-shirts in wrestling while they wrestle.
Okay.
No.
All right, if they wear them with pants, it's somehow acceptable. But my biggest gripe with CM Punk was that he wore the short trunks with a t-shirt, and I'm like, you look like you're wearing your boyfriend's t-shirt and panties. Like, when guys wear the t-shirt and the short trunks.
Yeah, he should have wore it.
There was a reason for that. That was the Misfit straight edge t-shirt that he wore. That was actually his sister's legit t-shirt. That was his sister's t-shirt.
The drug-free shirt?
Yes, it was his sister's t-shirt. Because they were in Chicago at the time. There is like lore to that one.
True.
Okay, well, I just like CM Punk always wore his t-shirts with panties.
With his panties.
Or I guess I always call the short trunks manties, like man panties. The little short
coming out with a fucking thong, coming out with his butt cheeks hanging out.
Yeah.
Anybody gonna mention Sheamus and John Cena? His very
that
first.
Was funny. Like his very first WWE title match, like WWE win. Oh mate, career defining. That is career defining if you want to put it in. Not in a good way, but that is definitely career defining.
I'm still mad at him for ending Jamie Noble's career.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He never ended.
About that.
I know. I'm just.
We should talk. I feel like if we're going to talk about the history of the TLC pay-per-view, 2016 should be mentioned for two things: the fact that Baron Corbin and Kalisto was actually a really good chairs match, and like the only good chairs match they've had ever, and for some goddamn reason, and AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, it was good.
What about?
Yeah, that was where Kalisto died when Corbin clobbered the chair in his face with the clothesline. It was great.
Remember Kalisto doing his finisher on one of the Usos through the ladder? Remember that?
Oh my god, yeah, 2015, wasn't it? I forgot that was a ladder match.
Put him out for how many months? Hammers?
Who is it again?
Kalisto. He did like his fucking finisher on top of the ladder.
Solo or whatever.
Yeah.
I wish that
put him out for years.
Put him out for a few months, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
We are talking ladder match, and we did not mention the takeover for the that new championship match.
North American. Yeah,
wow,
that was awesome.
What a ladder match! Ricochet defined a career right there.
Yeah.
I mean, his career was defined way before then, but I'm saying in WWE already, his very first match, mind blowing.
Really showed off Adam Cole as well, because Adam Cole up to this point he didn't really have very few he didn't have many NXT matches that really defined what he could do.
Yeah.
But the crowd really saw what he could do. And
I think it defined all their careers. Really, it really showcased everyone.
Well, I like the fact too that they had on top of your high flyers and technicians in there. I think that you had also a really good dynamic with Lars Sullivan and Killian Dane being the two big hosses of the match, killing everyone. That was also very entertaining. I will say though, and I feel like this is why it's kind of a little overrated as a 5-star. I feel like the one that was the weakest out of this entire match was EC3.
Well, it was his first match there.
Yeah, true. I'm just saying, it's just I expected.
He took He took more of a beating than anybody else, really.
True.
Yeah, he did.
He did take a beating, so you can't really fault him. We got to remember the cartwheel spot that looked dangerous as fuck by Velveteen Dream. I forget who he did it onto. I think it was on Ricochet though.
Yeah,
and
that sounds about right.
And he freaking cartwheeled him onto the ladder that was wedged in between another ladder and the turnbuckle.
And apparently that's going to be his very first feud is against Ricochet.
Which it should be. Because I can see some banger matches with those two.
I meant Ricochet's very first matches against Velveteen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to carry on with the NXT side of things, Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor was a good match.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd more say for Kevin Owens, because Finn really didn't look like he was comfortable using equipment. He's more for just, doing high-flying moves, being a really skilled athlete in the ring. He doesn't need all the toys in there.
Yeah.
But for Kevin Owens, he uses it. He doesn't necessarily use them, but for his heelish tactics, like he set up the ladder right up against Finn Balor's neck on the side of the ring, ran up to him, and then just walked towards him and slapped him across the face.
Oh yeah.
Like it puts it into perspective.
Yeah, like here's the clearly defined heel, here's the clearly defined babyface. I feel like we should also mention on the history of NXT, the first ladder match they ever had, on air anyway.
Bo Dallas and Neville.
Bo Dallas and Neville.
My boy Neville.
Yeah, that was also very underratedly good. I would recommend people check that match out. It was actually not bad. And then you also had DIY versus AOP. That was a fucking great match as well. Is there any other ladder matches we're forgetting in NXT's history?
I really forgot, just
DIY versus AOP.
Yeah, I already mentioned that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that.
I literally just mentioned that.
Okay.
One other match that I feel like if we're gonna talk about ladder matches, I feel like we're overlooking Money in the Bank a lot, which kind of spurred off from the TLC matches because a lot of the people from TLC matches kind of came up with the concept.
Well, it was Chris Jericho's idea,
so it
yeah.
says.
I think it was more of a combined effort of like Christian, Edge, and Jericho.
No, Chris Jericho did it, bro. Like Chris Jericho does everything.
Chris Jericho literally invented everything.
Seriously, fuck that man. Like, he's disgusting. Like, people really, they don't see it. But you're not slick, Chris. You're not slick.
Well, I mean, no, we can see it in New Japan. He's kind of a scumbag. I mean, it works for him, though.
He can't even take a mask off. He's that stupid.
Shit.
Stupid idiot.
And then I saw her, and then I saw her, and then I saw her face.
I can't tell if you're hate-shaming or if you're seriously
No, I actually hate Chris.
He actually hates Chris Jericho.
I respect Chris Jericho as an athlete. I have no question of what he can do. As a human being, he's a piece of shit. It's like he's a horrible man.
Should we talk one more thing that I think we should talk about? What's the last year's TLC? Because I know Logan wanted to talk about it and wanted our opinions. The Olympic Shield versus the Miz, Braun Strowman, Kane, Cesaro, and Sheamus for no fucking reason whatsoever.
No reason whatsoever. Just because there was nothing else to do.
Wait, what happened?
Apparently,
it was a gimmick match that didn't need the gimmick.
This was
Who's in the match? The Olympic Shield.
Yeah, that's what people called them. You didn't know.
What? Who's that?
Haas and Benjamin.
Oh yeah, Haas and Benjamin.
Oh, we mentioned one more ladder match. Remember what defined Joey Mercury's career?
Oh, thank you. That was another one I've been sitting on. I'm like, wasn't that a TLC match?
That was a ladder match. Ladder match. It was a ladder match.
Just a ladder match?
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that was brutal. Yeah, Mercury getting his fucking face busted because Tardy did the slingshot spot and Mercury was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Poor guy.
It just happened so quick, and you could tell how badly he was hurt because, I mean, literally, he rolled out of the ring, and I mean, less than 5 seconds and his face is already completely blown up. That was just horrendous.
Yeah, that was brutal. I like that match gets overlooked just because of that spot. I feel like because the match was actually really good. Like the antics with Regal and Taylor, where they were too scared to climb the ladder.
Regal and Taylor.
Right. And them offer to hold the ladder for the other one. I got you, man.
Yeah.
Offered to
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. Like that was great. London and Kendrick were fantastic as they always were back then. And
yeah.
And then you had Eminem. I mean, before, and also the Hardys were involved. I mean, you can't go wrong when you have the Hardys involved in the fucking ladder match.
At least not with one of them, anyway. The other one's doing drugs in the corner.
True.
Well, yes. By that point, yes, Jeff was a druggie. Matt was more sober. But speaking of the Hardys, again, we should probably mention the ladder match between Haas and Benjamin versus the Hardys.
When was this?
This is like in 2007, so like it was a dead zone.
2007, Benjamin and Haas in 2007.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Jesus Christ, how late was that? I was thinking 2003.
That was One Night Stand, I think, actually, in 2007.
Charlie Haas.
Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin.
Ew.
Ew.
like Charlie Haas? Like, ugh.
Hey, him and Benjamin were a good team, man.
They were a very solid team. They were great together.
I mean, Haas as a singles wrestler, it doesn't really work for me. I mean, look at his Ring of Honor run, but still.
So I haven't heard about this boy since the first fucking SmackDown vs. Raw. Like, him and fucking Rico. Circle jerking in the fucking corner.
That was a great feud.
So I guess we're just gonna say fuck that TLC.
No, carry on. No, I just wanted to make that point.
Well,
you can continue.
People wanted. Logan wanted our thoughts on the 5-on-3 handicap TLC match that was kind of lacking in the TLC department, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. So, if right, I think I speak for everyone that they remember the Shield reuniting kinda with the addition of Kurt Angle, but no one could give a shit about this match because they didn't think it. They didn't consider it TLC.
You did. Like, if I've ever heard a mark out, like,
I
Jesus.
actually really enjoyed that match. Like,
I enjoyed it.
Roman in the trash can. I enjoyed it.
I loved it. It's not that I hated it, but I wouldn't consider it
one of the best.
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider it TLC because there really wasn't that much TLC involved.
That's true. It really just kind of came across as just a giant.
In a match where you had 3 specific foreign objects, they pretty much threw all that out the fucking window and were like, "We're gonna use a garbage truck." Like,
that's true.
You know, you're like, you can like, even though it was officially a TLC match, you know it's really not when you involve a goddamn garbage truck. So, like, that's the thing people remember is that you murdered or attempted to murder Braun Strowman in a garbage truck. That somehow changed color.
Did you like pop out of that truck like a week later on Raw?
No, yeah, and then somehow the truck changed color. Yeah.
Yeah, like do you regularly find accommodations in garbage trucks, dude?
Yeah, apparently. I mean,
cheaper than a tour bus, I guess.
I mean, maybe there's a good catering deal going on in that garbage truck. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
You never
know.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Get your piss accent out of here.
Hey, I'm not doing an accent for OSW. I'm just trying to say the line. That's
you sound like you're from Preston. Get out of here.
Goodbye. Easy.
Get the hell out. What the hell was that?
And that, wait, shit. There's one more match I feel like we forgot, and I feel like we're not giving it any credit whatsoever. How about that Fatal 4-Way match at WrestleMania 33, where the Hardys actually returned?
Well, you had 2 good teams, Cass and could have possibly been a rapist, and then you had the Hardys.
I'm not even English, and I got bollocks. I'm a huge Enzo fan. Sorry, I love him.
Well, shit.
I adore him.
You will be happy to hear then that Enzo was cleared of all charges.
When was
I've
this?
already
Today.
retweeted it.
Oh, was it
Oh
today?
yeah, I've read the
Yes.
letter.
Yep.
Yeah, that came out today.
My boy.
They said there was insufficient evidence. No charges have been filed, and Eric Arndt has been completely cleared of everything. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
All right then. Congrats to him.
I knew that chick was a skank. Anyway.
I knew
Yeah,
that.
no,
I
I
knew that
agree.
anyway.
Well, yeah.
I think everyone did.
I think, yeah, like we had the conversation ages ago. It's just like, look, I'm not gonna make a decision now, but this lady looks like she's fucking trouble.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
And the
Hold up,
story just
guys.
never added up.
Hold
It's
up.
just like there was
Come on.
the story changed in every telling of it. So yeah.
Pretty much.
What we holding up?
But there was another TLC match. I keep getting everyone off track, but there was one that stuck out for me. Like, I don't know if we've talked about it. AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose.
Mm.
The singles TLC match. It was
Yeah,
it was at
that was pretty good.
2016. I enjoyed that one. I thought it could have been. I feel like
I think the reason people
they
tend to forget
neuter,
about it is
Dean
because
Ambrose
of See, I think the reason people forget about it is because exactly what you said, and also James Ellsworth. Yeah, as much as James Ellsworth might be a nice guy, because I don't want James Ellsworth not to be on your show, Logan. He is, by the way, he is genuinely a nice dude.
like it.
Booking wise, it wasn't the best decision for either of them.
No.
So that's where
They took a chance and it didn't pan out. I'm willing to just say it was a chance that just failed. Sometimes when you take a chance, it doesn't always work out. But they were gunning for something different at the time.
Can
And
I
that's
say?
true.
Can I
With
say-
WWE, if they're going to try for something different, I'd rather them at least try. I'll accept a try and a fail rather than a
Commit.
rehash.
Commit and fail rather than not commit.
Yeah,
Right.
WrestleMania 34 is main event. Anyone?
Can you not? Like,
Just saying. You talk about committing
Amazon,
and failing.
can you not?
You're talking about not
Boy, I'm
committing,
asleep.
towering out. There you go. Another thing that's kind of off topic, and I just kind of want to bring this up. Why did they release James Ellsworth when he may have been the best thing that was going on for Carmella?
because there was nothing more for him. There wasn't
Yeah.
anything you could have done with him. He was done. He was a dead meme.
He was
Drop
a
him
good-
while you can.
Yeah, I know he was a dead meme, but he was still a good mouthpiece for fucking Carmella. That's the thing that
He
aggravates.
was a BDSM
I've
sub.
had a
Yeah, well, that whose fault was that? Fucking Road Dogg.
I've had a pet theory about the Carmella thing. I think they had a real nasty case of buyer's remorse with her. I think they thought that they were going to give her that money in the bank briefcase, and I think they thought that she was going to grow and evolve and improve, and she has not done any of those things.
Thank you.
Her entire,
fucking agrees with
her-
me.
all she does is scream. She can't sell, so she just screams. And
She's such a
she hasn't
can't
grown.
fucking
All she does is
wrestle.
moonwalk and scream.
Everyone's like, well,
And
the Miz wasn't a good wrestler back then either. I'm like, yeah, but the Miz has fucking improved leaps and bounds over fucking Carmella. Even back in his days as U.S. champion, is 10 times better than this chick.
How long has the Miz been in the
even
company?
in his like faux Hawk days, he
Yes.
had an understanding of the mechanics and the basics. You can tell, and I like Carmella. I like the character. I think she's beautiful, and I like the girl. But
She got butt cheeks.
She got
She
butt
got that
cheeks.
booty.
I think she's
She
beautiful.
got that booty.
I do. And,
I get what you're saying completely. Yeah.
But yeah, like she just, and I think that releasing Ellsworth was going to happen sooner rather than later. They were cutting their loss,
The problem
and
is,
I think it was just
here's the thing.
hey Carmella, you need to sink or swim.
Here's the deal. I don't even think she's that good on the mic, which is why it baffled me that they turned him into a BDSM motherfucker instead of her fucking mouthpiece.
BDSM motherfucker.
He was no, because people
Her
remember
pet,
the
yeah.
gimmick that Ellsworth was Carmella's hype man. He wasn't that bad at it, and then they're like, "No, we're gonna change you to you're a dog now." The fuck?
Yeah.
You're a dot, bro. I swear.
At first, when he was walking like the little like tracksuits with her pictures all over him, and he was like, "Yeah, she's my homegirl. She's my homegirl." He was really good at that. But yeah, once he
Yeah.
started getting dragged around by a leash, yeah,
Yeah, he was dead. He was dead in the water, and then he getting beat up by the females every week to train for Survivor Series. I'm like, are you fucking mad? Are you stupid? Like, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's it. Okay.
Yep.
Nah, tell me something. Yeah, what else is new, right? Logan, anything else you want to talk about TLC wise?
If you guys have anything to add or anything, just go ahead and.
Edge versus John Cena was the best TLC match of all time.
Unforgiven 2006.
Yeah.
It really is. You know,
It
it
is.
really is the best one to come out in a long time.
Yeah.
The only other one I can think of is like the Shield debut match. They really, for their first match, with them working all as a team, like for their first match, it takes a lot of choreography to do that kind of stuff, but they hit it.
See, the top 5 list goes something a little like this, right? John Cena versus Edge, The Shield versus Ryback and Team Hell No, and Hardy's, Dudley's, ENC somewhere in there for the rest, pretty much, including TLC 4 with Jericho and Benoit. Probably would round out the top 5. There you go.
When are we gonna get this female division TLC match where they're gonna burn it to the fucking ground?
Depending on what they do with it, I would think if they're gonna do a TLC match, they might want to put the workhorses in.
I mean, the thing is, right, is with the potential of like a female TLC match, you can't be as vicious or as high flying with it because like there aren't that many high flying female wrestlers on the main roster at the moment. Yeah. So a lot of those aspects won't be able to be used. You just be going through tables and tapping each other on the backs or the butt cheeks of the fucking chairs. There's not a lot you could do with it. Yeah. But if we're looking into the future, what do you think they can do? And I'm not saying book this person, book that person. I mean in general as an aspect. What do you think they can do with the TLC match with the women's division?
As a chick who has been watching wrestling for 20 plus years, I've said it from forever. The WWE creative team does not know how to write women's characters. It is basically such and such bitch. You've got crazy bitch, psycho bitch, pretty bitch, etc., etc. None of them, they're all just...
It's like teens slagging each other off on their phones.
It is. It's like sororities who talk smack about each other at keggers. Like, there has to be... these characters need to be more fleshed out, and they're doing the same thing to the women that they're doing to the men. It seems like on any given turn, Charlotte's going to have a title around her waist, or she's going to be in the running for it. There's a lot of talent that, for the love of God, let Becky Lynch get something somewhere.
Oh my God, and, I feel so bad for her.
For the love of God, quit making Becky Lynch eat every friggin' pin. But they've got to flesh out these women's characters and movesets. Naomi is the one that keeps popping into mind for me. It drives me crazy.
Nia Jax.
Yes, well, with Naomi, the rear view move, like, okay, she's a black chick with a big butt, so you're going to give her that as a finisher. The girl is a friggin' unbelievable dancer, and as someone who took dance, there's a million kinds of kicks you can do as a dancer. I think they need to give her a more flying, kick-based offense. That would open her up for some high-flying stuff and make her a superstar in one of those kinds of matches. Yeah. I think Becky could, there's possibility there, but you have to flesh these women out. They can't just sit around and gossip and scream at each other.
Well, what about we get these self-proclaimed veterans, the Bella twins? They call themselves veterans, believe it or not. Get them out of the division, because, like...
They're veteran Kardashian wannabes. They're not veterans of anything. They're veteran gold diggers.
Let's be real. Nikki Bella just came to her own, like, right after she was pretty much done full-time. Let's not kid ourselves. Oh, I'm a professional.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Well, and the thing with Nikki Bella, every time I've said something bad about her, inevitably some little mark for her always says, oh, but she's improved so much. And I'm like, you know what? That's what everyone says about Nikki Bella. No one ever says Nikki Bella's good. They say she's improved.
Yeah,
that's not good.
You know what else has improved?
She's been
Her
in the
goddamn
business
breast.
damn long.
You know what else
she's
has improved? You know what else has improved about Nikki Bella? Her goddamn breast implants. They still look like two boulders in her fucking shirt.
Well, that's because she keeps, like, again, as someone who worked in strip clubs and has seen countless sets of fake boobies, you get a doctor who's willing to not go to the right body size. If you just say, I want massive cans, for the right price, a doctor will give you that. It doesn't mean that your frame needs it, but you can have it, you know? Mm-hmm. Mickey James has, like, outstanding. I could do a whole podcast on just who has the best
fake breasts.
Like
Natalia looks amazing. Mickey James looks amazing. Nikki Bella looks like she uses
this went off the
goddamn.
I mean, like,
sorry.
No, it's all right. It's fine. Like to finish it off, right? The main story that she has, like her actual real life at the moment, is a whole breakup to do with John Cena, and they're contemplating whether or not to knock her up or not. Like, for fuck's sake, it's like you either get knocked up or you don't get knocked up. Make a decision.
Wow.
I think we're done with the TLC discussion though.
Yep.
And plus, don't you need to start doing stream? Not Jess. Sorry, I'm getting used to your name. There.
Dave.
Jenna, rather, not Jess. Dumb shit.
I'm golden right now. Are y'all kicking me out?
No.
No. I mean, I have a thing I gotta do too. We should probably wrap it up anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead and wrap it up. First, James, go ahead and promote yourself on your Twitter.
You guys can check me out on JHebertSide95 on YouTube, which is also my Twitter handle at JHebertSide95. There I do custom themes and just a bunch of stuff on there. I'm doing live reactions now again. I'm going to actually start uploading theme songs again, music, all that jazz. Go check it out. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Do the same thing with my Weymouth Youth Wrestling channel, which is a custom wrestling league, or a CAW, Create a Wrestler League, that I run. YouTube.com/user/WYWPride. Again, that's YouTube.com/user/WYWPride. There you go. Also, on here, and on Owen's channel, Wrestling Fortune 44, I'm everywhere. I'm all over YouTube.
Yep. And Kuzan, go ahead, sir.
Oh, what do me? Okay. You can find me on Twitter at KuzonTV. I'm more of a Twitch kind of guy rather than YouTube, although I am doing a series of Spanner vs. Rock 2007 on my channel on KuzonTV. But you can find me mainly on twitch.tv /Kuzon_TV, where I've been playing Skyrim for a little bit. I'm also doing a thing with Hammers. We've already done a series, which I'll let him mention on his channel. It's really good. If you like wrestling with guns, think of that as a concept.
Jesus. Urban Wrestling Federation.
Urban Wrestling Federation. But I'll let Hammers explain that one.
And go ahead, Hammers.
You can find me on Twitter at Hammers Productions. You can try to find me on Facebook and Instagram, but you can't and won't because you got some fat asses. Yeah, we have a thing on Hammers Productions YouTube channel with the Urban Wrestling Federation, the greatest federation with only 5 episodes ever on their television. Hopefully we could get a 6th, hopefully. Knock on wood.
I doubt it. They'd have to really rewrite everything. Jesus.
Well, you see, they did release episode 6 on Cox cable.
I see.
They did release it. We don't know when it will be turning up on YouTube anytime soon, but there will be a 6th episode somewhere over the rainbow.
Yes.
You can also. What else? What other things do I have?
Are we doing another series at some point?
Yes.
We're not saying what.
Yes. wink, wink, we will be doing another series. Interesting series, I think, to look at somewhere far, far, far away from here, and not in Brooklyn, New York. And also, new show coming soon, myself. Yeah. Gimmicks.
Fattest.
Yeah.
But,
Fattass.
Jenna.
Oh,
Go ahead, Ambers, real quick.
oh, also, everybody dies. Everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Well, of course.
Go ahead, Jenna.
Guys, first and foremost, thank y'all so much for having me. Seriously, thank you guys so much for letting me join and hang out with you guys tonight. I really, really appreciate it. I've had a blast. And you can find me on YouTube. I am Jenna Lee's Beauty Slam. It is youtube.com/c/Jenna Lee. You can also hang out with me on Twitter. It is at MissJenna_Lee. And I'm constantly updating Snapchat and doing vlogs and day in the life and et cetera, et cetera. And if you want to hang out with me there, I am Cute Cat Lady, all one word.
Once again, thank you, Jenna, for joining us tonight on this old school edition of Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. You guys can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. This is Future Entertainment, Future Wrestling Podcast. This Saturday night, we're going back on Grapple Vision with the 32,000 subscriptions as we bring Saturday Night Myers. I can't do it. I can't do this. Hang on. Saturday Night Myers.
Myers.
And we will be back this Saturday night. Do not miss it. And of course, like I said earlier, earlier in the beginning of the show, me, Jenna, will be doing a show, Old School $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, on the 23rd of May. So do not miss that.
Yes.
Yep. I can't wait.
And Jenna, you should do more shows because you're pretty chill and have actual knowledge about wrestling. You're
Well,
cool.
thank you. I appreciate that. And
You're welcome.
I really appreciate you guys letting me come in and hang out with y'all.
Well, trust
wanted
me,
to do this.
The reason I recommend that is because it's a sausage fest most of the time. So when we get a woman, it's rare.
Whammon. We gotta respect the whammon.
Yeah,
the whammon.
We're not a Saudi Arabia.
Oh God! Oh my!
We're not Jeddah, Saudi Arabia up in here.
We're not gonna badge you.
We're not a dictatorship over here.
No, sir. No, we're not. But, guys, thanks for joining us. Whoever gets to listen to this show, hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back very, very soon. Thank you.